Hey YouTube, Steven the Salon Guy here. First of all, thank you all for the support and for being patient and understanding during my neck injury. I have some herniated discs in my neck, and some days it's getting better and some days it's getting worse. And I feel today it's worse. But anyway, again, nothing holds me back, and I'm not one to really stand down from anything, but so I'm going to keep putting out content when I can. So today's video is going to be focused on hair tips for thin hair. Now, take it from me, someone who has very thick hair. Yeah, right. But funny enough, when I was younger, I did have very thick, kind of wavy hair. And as my hair started thinning when I was probably in my, I'd say, mid-20s or so, maybe even like early 20s, I started to, try to do things to kind of conceal it and cover it up, ways to make my hair thicker. And we're talking like a while ago. I'm getting up there, in age. And, so when I was younger, it was very tough for me to accept that my hair was thinning. And what I used to do was have my hair really long. I used to try to wear hats all the time. I used to try to do different things with my hair, but I felt that keeping it longer would camouflage it. And it kind of did. And let's segue into some of the hair tips and things that I can share for fine hair. Now, one, keeping your hair longer. Keeping your hair longer will add thickness to your hair if it is cut properly. So a lot of times when dealing with fine hair, you need to have a specific type of haircut that's going to camouflage the thinning or balding areas in your head, and the hair will be long enough to kind of cover up. That's why guys do like a comb over where they have the part way over here and they're bald on top and it combs all the way over, because they're using that to cover up the bald spots. And just, it's nothing to make fun of. It's a very, people are very insecure about it. I was insecure about it. That's why I just shaved my damn head. But, it's something that men and women are very insecure about, and they want to do what they can to keep and make it look like they have a lot more hair. So if you do have thin hair or it's starting to thin, one, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's tough, but you can always shave your head. You can always just buzz it down short. And just realize that, confidence should come from within. And, I had a hard time dealing with it too when I was younger. And people, yes, made fun of me and they said stuff. And, it was tough to deal with. But leaving your hair longer can help, but also cannot. Because say, for example, the wind blows and your hair is covered and it goes like this. Your hair is going to be flying around like this in the wind. Sometimes if something happens, it brushes it out of place. That's why a lot of times you have to have a brush with you or a comb to kind of constantly keep your hair in place to keep that, to conceal your thinning area or your bald spots or whatever it is that you're trying to cover up. So long hair can help, like for example, if you have a bald spot here and you have your hair so long that it covers it completely, you have like a ponytail, then yeah, that's what it's good for. Think of it as, kind of common sense. Is my hair going to cover whatever up? And if it is, how am I going to hold it in place? So your hair, play around with it. Where it doesn't work is when it's really fine and straggly and you're not wearing it properly, that it just looks like a big ratty mess. Like, that's when you don't want to have longer hair to cover up your fine hair for men and women. Sometimes it's just, when the hair is really long, it actually weighs it down, because long hair will weigh down its weight, it's pure weight. So instead of having it layered where it has more flow, anything long and straight will literally just try to pull from the scalp and make it look like it's finer. You'll see your scalp more. So be careful by wearing your hair really long if it's extremely fine. That's another thing you have to be careful about. So just make sure you have something that is short enough that will add thickness to your hair. Use the right products, which we'll get into in a second. And let's talk about short haircuts. So short haircuts for fine hair, whether it's a woman, a pixie haircut, or a cropped men's haircut, that will also help thicken your hair. Keep in mind, if you have fine hair, if you do see your scalp, that's not really going to change a whole lot, but you can camouflage it and add thickness by cutting off the ends of the hair or keeping it short so it doesn't weigh the hair down and make it kind of stretched out a little more so it looks flatter, which exposes your scalp more. So something shorter allows you to use different types of products like pastes, or powders that actually thicken your hair. So shorter hair for men and women can help increase thickness in your hair to make it look like it's thicker. to conceal the thinning areas. So I suggest definitely getting a shorter crop cut. Now, when I cut my hair off, my hair was actually pretty long when I was younger, and when I went to someone to get it cut, he cut it so short that I said, oh my God, like you could see that I was starting to lose my hair. And then from that point, it was downhill. Like if you cut it too short, keep in mind that guess what? Once it's too short, there's no going back. You're gonna have to stay that short, or you have to shave it. So make sure you're going to somebody who really knows how to work with fine hair, because I have a lot of clients, men and women, that have really fine hair, and I work like it's almost like doing surgery on them when I was cutting those clients. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to really be careful. Let's talk about hair products now. You don't want to use something that makes your hair oily. You want to use something that really adds thickness. Nothing like a pomade. You want to be careful from like heavy, shine sprays, things like that. Anything that makes your hair really oily, stay away from. Because if you have fine, thin hair and it looks like it's wet or oily, it just makes it look even thinner. So stay away from things. Try dry shampoos or dry, like my talc powder is great. It's a great product for fine hair. It actually thickens your hair. Use thickening shampoos. I have Fortify shampoo and conditioner. It's one of the first I've ever seen that actually really thickens your hair and cleanses your scalp, and it's really amazing. So you want to use things that really are going to help really truly thicken your hair. Stay away from anything that makes it oily. Trust me. I get a lot of questions, and people send me photos, am I losing my hair? Or they see a bald spot. Well, sometimes the calic or the swirl that's in the back of your head exposes some of your scalp, which you may think that you're losing your hair, but you're not. It's just the growth pattern of your hair that exposes a little more of your scalp. Maybe grow your hair a little bit longer there, or style it a little bit differently. I've done videos like how to deal with a calic. You could watch that video I've done. That actually, I give some styling tips of how to work with it. You want to go in the direction that your hair grows in. And if you have a swirl or a calic or something, you want to try to leave it a little bit longer and kind of mess up that area so it doesn't look like it's growing all different places. It's a little bit of a trick. I would say that you're not losing your hair, and if you are losing your hair, guess what? It's hereditary. Stress causes hair loss. If you're wearing a lot of hats, sometimes, I've noticed even with me, wearing more hats caused me to lose more hair when I was younger. So be careful if you're wearing a lot of hats, pulled down baseball caps, things that are really pulling down your hair and matting down your hair onto your scalp. I've noticed that did not really help me. It actually hurt me when I was younger. So be careful with doing that. And that's it. Don't be afraid if you're like 16, 17, you feel you're losing your hair. If you've got your father or somebody, it has no hair, well, guess what? There's a high chance that you might lose your hair too. It's just a matter of time, and it's hereditary. But I guess that's it. If you have any questions about fine hair, please leave them in the description. Once again, thank you for all the support during my injury and stuff. I'm trying to put out content when I can. But thank you all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time for more videos with the Salon Guy.